Hey there guys, it's Ben here from GameRVW.com. We're back with another weekly news roundup, this time for the week beginning 22nd of July 2019. Just a quick note for this week's episode, there are going to be a few news stories here which may have surfaced late last week as opposed to actually starting this week. However, we weren't quite able to include some of the things last week and we wanted to try and put them in to this week's episode. So just with that out of the way, let's get on with this week's news. Opening with a bit of rather sad news, Jeff Robinson, who was a former StarCraft 2 pro who went by the handle In Control, has passed away at the age of 33. Jeff was a former US champion and a former captain of the Evil Geniuses esports team. After he retired from competition, he went on to commentary roles and he regularly streamed on his Twitch channel. After the news spread that he passed away, they posted a follow-up on his Twitter page stating that Jeff had passed away painlessly, thankfully, from a blood clot that developed in his lungs. And they said that at the time that he was with his friends. Obviously, very sad bit of news, goes without saying for his friends and family, especially at such a young age, only being 33, it's a bit of a shame. I didn't know a great deal about Jeff or the StarCraft 2 esports scene before I looked at this week's news and I found this had taken place. But he does seem to have been fairly well liked and respected figure in the community, and there were quite a few people who responded to the news of his passing with their condolences and the kind of best wishes for the family, and a few stories of having met Jeff in person. He seemed to be a well-respected and well-liked person. His loved ones have suggested if anyone wishes to honour Jeff to donate to Southern California Bulldog Rescue, which was an organisation he was very fond of. So very sad piece of news, best wishes to all his family and friends, kind of goes without saying, and to anyone in the gaming community as well who's been affected by Jeff's passing and maybe was a bit influenced by his presence in the community. Next up, we've got the launch of the Diamond and Casino Resort for GTA Online, so players get a new bit of content here. So players can pay for entry to the casino and convert in-game money into chips, which they can use at various casino games and tables, and they can use those chips to get a few unique prizes. There's also going to be a few new co-op missions that relate to the operation of the casino, so you can jump into those with a few mates as well. This has become a notable release not just as a kind of piece of content, but because it's kind of rekindled the debate about what is considered gambling in video games. This actually gained the attention of the BBC in the UK, so this is actually hitting mainstream news outlets as well as kind of the usual gaming sites that you would expect to cover this. So to play in the casino, you have to trade in-game money for casino chips to use at the tables or any other casino game that is available. Where the concern here lies is that you can buy in-game money using real money by buying shark cards, which you pay for with real money, and it gives you a portion, depending on which one you bought, of in-game money, which you can then convert into casino chips. So this potentially creates a position where players can become addicted to the casino games, as casino games are often found to be addicting, and then they end up feeding that addiction through the purchase of the shark cards. So a key point about the way this works is that although you can pay real money to purchase casino chips, there's no way to convert any winnings back into real money. As the BBC and several other news outlets have already referenced, the UK gambling watchdog stated recently that a prize has to either be money or have a monetary value in order to fall under gambling legislation. So at least in the UK, other countries will vary of course, there's no official outlet that will allow you to convert casino chips or prizes into real money, so technically it doesn't really fall under gambling legislation. It's also worth mentioning that there are limits to how many chips a player can purchase, which is currently capped at $15,000 per in-game day, which is approximately 1 hour. So if you're assuming that people are buying these purely through shark cards as a hypothetical, using the lowest value card, which is £199 for $100,000 of in-game cash, that means that a player can only spend a maximum of about £1 of real money per hour or so, which is a full in-game day, on chips, and then they hit the cap. So the maximum they can do is effectively £1 per hour of real money, and that's assuming of course they're only using real money to buy shark cards to then fund their casino chips. So the casino is quite restricted. I'm glad that is in place, and it kind of prevents people from just spending a huge amount of money suddenly on a huge load of chips and spending all the time in the casino. So it's good that it's restrictive. However, it is a bit of a worrying precedent that someone can start effectively a gambling addiction by indirectly using real money to buy in-game money to then buy chips to essentially fuel a gambling addiction. It's a bit of a worrying sentiment to have that in a game, especially when Rockstar know that GTA is played by a number of teenagers. Rockstar know this, they know GTA is very popular among teenagers, and it is a bit worrying that they could effectively start gambling indirectly, despite the fact they wouldn't be legally allowed to gamble until they were 18, at least in the UK and quite a lot of other countries. So it is nice that it's restrictive. However, it is a bit of a dangerous thing that this is included in a video game. and it would be nice to see some kind of solid legislation laid down on this. A number of countries have already banned the casino or heavily restricted it, so we may see a bit of a development here as well. Nintendo are facing a lawsuit over the drift issue that's occurred in a number of the Switch's Joy-Con controllers. This refers to a problem whereby the controller believes the analog stick is being moved even if the player isn't inputting any movement into it, which obviously is going to cause gameplay issues. The cause of the issue is unclear, although there are some theories going around behind it, and a number of gamers have experienced this issue. Law firm CSK&D has filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo of America relating to these issues. From their website, the complaint, filed in the United States District Court for the Western District of Washington, alleges that the joysticks on the Joy-Con controllers are defective, leading users to experience drift issues. Specifically, the complaint alleges that the joystick on the Joy-Con controllers will automatically register movement when the joystick is not being controlled by the user and interfere with gameplay. Additionally, an internal memo was leaked to Vice, which stated that the customer services representatives at Nintendo will no longer be charging customers for Joy-Con repairs, and the customers that paid for such repairs can be refunded. Nintendo itself has not said much publicly on the issue other than acknowledging that they have received recent reports about the Joy-Con controllers. It's good that Nintendo seem to be taking this seriously, and hopefully people can get their controllers repaired for free, or they can get a refund for repairs that they originally had to pay for. Some good news now for any Cyberpunk 2077 fans. CD Projekt Red have confirmed that the game will not have any pre-order bonuses. This comes from a Reddit post showing a user who had messaged the company asking if there would be any bonuses like this, to which they replied, "No, we don't do that." There is a collector's edition available, but in terms of in-game content, pre-ordering won't make a difference. So CD Projekt Red has always garnered praise for its pro-consumer stance, and this is a nice bit of news for people to hear. So that's the wrap up of this week's big stories. Thank you very much indeed for watching. As always, check out our website and check out the other videos, and I'll see you next week.